Okay guys, today is going to be a lot of fun. What we're going to do is I want to show you how to induce chills when people listen to you play, the good kind of chills, hopefully. And there are three main aspects that I would say go into doing this. One of them is a lot of experience, okay? So you have to get so good at your techniques that you no longer have to think of them and you could just play and not have to use a lot of mental energy. Because that's actually what could take away from your feel is when you're thinking too much. And I've done a lot of videos about that, about getting confident when you play. And so you got to get practicing in order to get to that level. It could take a long time just to get over that hurdle. The second thing is you actually have to feel something when you play. So a lot of the techniques I show you today are going to hinge on the fact that you can actually feel what you're playing versus just being like a robot playing, because people can tell, like the audience can tell if you're just playing mechanically versus if you're actually feeling something. That's why a blues musician can't really get away with faking it, because it's kind of transparent. You can kind of tell when they're not really into it. And the third thing is what I want to help you out with today, and that's actually injecting a few of these techniques and very small dynamics into what you already do. And though those are very teachable, these techniques and dynamics, they still won't come alive until you have the other two aspects. So you got to work on all three of those things. So I chose a pretty familiar melody for you guys, just so you have something familiar to listen to. Plus you can follow along easier, and there's a lot of opportunities to use a lot of these techniques in this melody. So it's the Star Spangled Banner. I'm just going to walk through it, tell you what I'm doing, and then at the end I'll play the whole thing. But try to grab onto any of these techniques that you can. All right, here we go. So we start off just with the arpeggio. I love how you could just hold an E chord when you do that. Now, I'm not specifically teaching you this song, just so you know. I'm going to walk through it, but just try to follow me if you can, and if you learn it in the process, that's great. All right, here we go. So right off the bat, we had a slide into the 9th fret. I'm going to use fret numbers today, and then we do some vibrato. Using two different types of vibratos. The first one's the ring finger. I'm just kind of going like this, up and down. As I come down here, I do the B.B. King vibrato is what I call it. We teach that on the website pretty extensively. And then, this is really kind of an interesting thing. Instead of just dropping down to the lower notes, it's kind of tempting to do. Right? Big jump. Instead of doing that, I want to connect it a little bit better. It's a little more emotional if you do a backwards ghost slide. It's a weird term, but it's where you go like this. So you play, in this case, 4 frets higher, you hit the note and slide right into the note you're trying to aim for. Right there's a subtle thing too. I went from the 3rd fret to the 4th fret, and I slid into it. I didn't just go. I went. You're going to notice at the end of most of these phrases, there's going to be vibrato. So think of the best singers you know. They all seem to do that. Conveys emotion in a good way. Okay, let's keep going. That's an important thing right there. I call it the flicker, and that's where we're going to go from the 5th to the 7th fret, back to the 5th with a hammer-on pull-off, and then slide quickly to the 4th fret. Kind of a Steve Vai thing. If you've ever heard the song Liberty by Steve Vai, a lot of this stuff comes from that. Okay, here's the backward slide again. Now we're going to skip forward because the next chunk is the same as what I just played, so we're going to go towards the end now. So we have this. Huge technique. I love this one. We go to the 12th fret of the 2nd string, drop back to the 10th fret, and then bend it up to the 12th fret note. So you get this kind of sound. I like to do the bend a little bit slow so you get every ounce of feel out of it. There's something about the note struggling to get up there that just kind of grabs people. And then you could shake some vibrato at the end if you want. It's a very slow vibrato there. And then I do a ghost pre-bend here to get to the next note. So it's already up, just hit it again and drop it down, and you get this nice effect. There it is again, that trick. We went for the 10th fret this time to the 9th fret, bent it up, and really held it out. Sounds good. You can add an artificial harmonic there if you want to. It sounds great. It might seem out of place, and I might not do it every single time, but whenever I can remember, I try to throw it in. From there, the flicker again. Okay, I just decided to bend that note this time instead of slide up. Remember, you have to play what makes you feel something too. That's why guitar players love bends, because it's kind of sometimes like painfully emotional to do a bend. It's like your guitar is crying. Okay, the big ending, here we go. That was just a personal choice. You're hitting 2 C sharps here, and then I decided to slide into the C sharp on the 3rd string, just so I get a little bit of underneath and up feel. That also sets us up to be in a different higher position right here. Okay, a couple things I did there that are new. I did a rake. So you just rake across the strings and make them dead, and then get to the live string. Feels like you're really getting traction when you do that. That's something I picked up from Derek Trucks. He does it with a slide, but I try to do it with a bend. It's where you do the bend, and then you do a quick little bend afterwards. It's got this human quality to it. He's really good at making his guitar talk. If you've never checked him out, please do. And then we go like this. Flicker is back. Love the sound of those 2 notes bleeding together, so do that. Now, your ear might want to hear that super high note that some singers can hit, like Mariah Carey. So if you want to do that, tap on the 2nd string 15th fret. Here's a little tip for you. Once it's bent and tapped, use your fretting hand to get the vibrato. You don't have to use your tapping hand. That can get a little bit noisy and sloppy. So I like to go like this. Okay, a little tip for you. And then we're going to finish off. 1.5 bend. This is just a personal choice. I like how it sounds like a slide almost. We're going to go all the way up to this A note, but we're going to start on F sharp, bend it up to the A, and come back down. Kind of cool. And then we end with either an E chord or with an E note, and then just build the chord. There's a lot of options how to end this. I might just do the full chord for today. Okay, so those are all the little tips that went into that one song. Okay, so there's a lot of them, but once you start to implement them, you see that they start repeating, and you can start making it part of your style. Okay, let's do the whole thing, and I'll try to remember all the little details. Sometimes I just go with feel, so I don't remember what I did, but a lot of them will be there. Here we go. Did you notice I didn't use many effects? There's just a little bit of delay in the tone that I'm using, and I just did a little bit of a, bridge thing. Little Dick Dale sounding thing there. That's just out of habit. But for the most part, there was no wah pedal. There was no harmonizing going on of any kind. A lot of it is just in your fingers. So that's kind of what I wanted to portray for this. All right, guys, hopefully that helps inject a little feel into your lead playing and hopefully give some people the chills, the good kind. All right, guys, catch you soon. Thanks.